Okay, so question one. Barnet is London's largest borough. What is the biggest challenge you face as leader?
Well, I guess the biggest challenge we have is the mix of people we have and all their own different aspirations, and somehow they all have to work together to achieve mutual betterment, really. But people do live well together in Barnet, and if we can avoid any trouble between different groups, that would be a big achievement.
Question two.
Oh wow, that's right. I'm being too brief, am I?
Well, no, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you'd like to
Okay,
add.
now
I mean,
yeah.
that's the biggest challenge is.
Is how people relate to each other, as we have a very complex economy here in Barnet. I think we've got the third highest level of economic activity by registration for sales tax. However, we also have a big economy in people commuting into town, into the centre of London, and coming back with hopefully with very big pay packets and spending them in the local shops here. So we are. I mean, we have more to do than a borough in New York. But however, we are part of London and we are subsumed into the big city.
Very good. Question two. What are the things you would most like to change about Barnet, and can this be done?
What would I like to change about Barnet? Well, I'm not sure that there's very much I can change about Barnet, so I've set my aspirations quite low. I mean, we've had a habit in the past of building the ugliest buildings in the most prominent places, and if we could avoid doing that, that would be a great thing. And change it. Well, I think it's quite a nice place to live. It's a comfortable place to live for most people, and we need to work to make sure that it's comfortable for those who don't have such nice homes at the moment and such nice areas, and we need to bring them up without damaging what we've already got in other places.
Yes, anything else?
No, I think that's me. I'm very easy.
Okay, good. Question three. What are the most important things you do on a day-to-day basis as leader?
Ooh, what do I do as leader? Indeed, that's a good question. Well, I suppose the most important thing is monitoring the budget. I know that others do that as well, but it is very important. If you think we're a £1 billion business and yet we only have reserves of £15 million, so it's a very tightly run operation that has the potential to go wrong, and we need to make sure that it doesn't. So I monitor that, and then we have a lot of political activity going on here, and it's my job to try and coordinate that and make sure that we're all working together. We share common aspirations, but sometimes we have different ways of doing that, and as a cabinet we need to make sure that we are all sticking together on that front.
What are your favourite things in Barnet?
Oh, favourite things? Actually, I quite like the green spaces. I mean, it's a very green borough. It's nice to walk around. There are lots of interesting places, and you wouldn't really know that you're only 12 miles from the centre of London. Some of the walks around Mill Hill, Toshridge are very, very nice, but there are hidden gems as well, little parks tucked away, the Courthouse Gardens in High Barnet that not a lot of people know about. It's very nice. The Darlands Nature Reserve is lovely. We've got a lot going on here. Even Golders Hill Park, which isn't paid for by Barnet but paid for by the City Corporation, is lovely.
I read somewhere that you mentioned La Deliverance, the statue?
Oh yes, I got it hopelessly wrong as well in the paper.
Oh.
It's really a much more interesting story than I suggested.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen La Deliverance?
I did. I actually wanted to. I wanted to get a shot of it in this little thing I'm doing. So
Well, as a child, I was told the story that this statue was given by the people of France to the people of Britain, but that wasn't quite true. Actually, it was produced by the French government. A number of them were, and I forget the name of the sculptor, but a number of the castings were commissioned, and they were distributed to French provincial cities after the Battle of the Marne, and La Deliverance from that battle. So this statue was presented, I think it was to the city of Nantes, but the burghers there didn't actually want it, so it was returned, and then Lord Rothermere bought it at auction and had it planted, gave it to Finchley. But of course the Finchley council wanted to put it in the middle of the park, but then he wouldn't have seen it when he was driving up to visit his mother. So there was an ensuing row, and it ended up being put in the bushes at Henley's Corner, where he could look at it as he drove past. But it is a very nice statue, and more should be made of it, really.
I heard its nickname is the Naked Lady.
The Naked Lady, yeah. As a kid, it was always a great pleasure to get on a bus and ask for a half to the Naked Lady. Yeah, it was always great, always great. Yes, it used to be regular. You could ask for that on a bus. It was known. The bus conductor would know the bus stop. Yes, yeah. It was a good one, that one.
Yeah, it's a famous landmark.
Oh, it is. It is.
All right. Well, question 5. What is the most interesting aspect of your job?
The people that I meet, the new people that I meet. I guess I started off with a reasonable idea of how the borough worked, but as I've gone on, I think I've done about 8 or 9 months now, but I've met new people, new organisations. They keep coming out of the woodwork, and they're all very interesting, and they all have a part to play in making the place work. It's a very complex society. Barnet works because of volunteers and because of citizens and all the different things they do, and there's something new every day in this job as well. Yeah, often a problem, but we can usually overcome those. And the administration of the council, although it's often mocked, it works very effectively and it gets things done. I don't think anyone will criticise our gritting of a couple of nights ago, which actually worked. So it was really full marks to the staff who were out in the cold and the dark, putting the grit down, and they kept the place moving.
All right, I'm going to turn it off. You mentioned a moment ago that sometimes problems crop up and you guys have to deal with them. What sort of problems?
Well, often there are problems with the allocation of resources. I know it's a cliche to say that to be involved in government is to make choices, but actually it is. And the choices that we've made as a council are sometimes difficult to ensure that they go ahead. I mean, we may be a very conservative council, but we're very concerned to protect the old people and children, and everything we do at the moment budgetarily is directed to doing just that. And sometimes a problem emerges, something has an unintended consequence, and it's always good to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. We have some quite complicated planning applications that come in, and yet the unintended consequence of getting something that really sounds quite great is that it messes up another part of what the council does, or another part of what the community depends on. It's quite a difficult juggling act sometimes, but we enjoy that, really. It makes it worthwhile coming in here.
Makes sense. Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to add? I think we're done, but if there's anything
not
else...
really. I mean, it's... Actually, I recommend the job. It's very interesting. It's is that a good enough end sign-off?
Yeah, it'll work.
Okay.
It'll work. All right.
Okay.
I'll turn it off.